This conference will now be recorded.
Let's start today's session. In the last session, we discussed about file handling. In that file handling, we have seen how to check whether file is exist or not, and also if the file is exist, then how to find the number of lines, number of words, number of characters in that file we discuss. And in today's session, we'll see zip and unzip operations using files. Zip means we can take all the files, text files, and store into one folder that is called zip folder. Zip folder is also called as rar folder. So zip, zip and unzip operations, I'm going to do this. Zip and unzip. Zip means we can store all multiple text files into one folder that is called zip folder or rar folder. Unzip means we can extract files from zip folder that is called unzip. Okay. So generally zip stands for what? Zonal Improvement Plan. Zip stands for. There are some compression files like Zonal Improvement Plan. ZIP stands for Zonal Improvement Plan, we can say that. Zonal Improvement Plan. So RAR stands for Rochelle Archive. Rochelle is the man who invented RAR file. RAR stands for Rochelle Archive. Rochelle is the man who invented RAR file. Next, there is one more file is the tar file. In real time, the programmers will use tar file to send the important files or uh, highly confidential files to on-site location. That is tar file, that is called taped archive actually. Taped archive. Taped archive. This is more security, more protected. So taped archive. To extract the files, compulsory password is required or some other credentials are required. So we are talking about chip only. That is zonal improvement plan. Means here we have a lot of text files are there like abc.txt, abcd.txt, xyz.txt, okay, durga.txt, tribular.txt. These are all text files I want to store into one folder that is called zip or rar folder. How to do it using Python program, how to do it, the zip and unzip operations, we'll look into that. But to work with zip files, we use a module called zip file module. Okay, so that we have to import what? zip file module is required. Zip file module is there. It's a built-in module only. And if after importing zip file, here file object is f equals to capital ZIP, capital F. This is the zip file class. Okay, zip file class. So f equals to zip file class, and here we have to use file name dot ZIP extension is required. File name dot ZIP. And here we are going to store all text file into zip folder. That's what we have to use. Mode is W mode only. W mode in the sense write mode. All the text files we are writing to the zip file that is called file name dot ZIP extension. And there is one more constant is there here. That constant always in Python ZIP underscore deflated. Deflated we can say that. ZIP underscore deflated. ZIP underscore deflated. This is what it's a constant. This indicates that we are going to write the all files into zip file only, zip folder only, zip underscore deflated. Okay, zip underscore deflated. So this constant is optional, not compulsory. Okay, this is zip file creation. syntax. But same thing if you want to do unzip. Unzip means we can extract the files from zip folder. How we upload text files to the zip folder, same we can also extract files from zip folder. How to do it? Unzip, we can see it. So f is a file object equals to zip zip file of file name dot zip extension, comma mode is what actually read mode, and zip underscore stored, we can say that zip stored in the sense we are going to extract the files from zip folder, that is zip stored. These two constants are optional to use. If we don't use these constants also, this will work. And make sure that the small letter, all small letters zip file is there. No, this is called module name, and here it is capital letter is there. No, Z capital, F capital. This is what actually class name, module name, class name. Both are there here. Difference. This is different. This is different. First, we look into how to do zip operations with all files. We'll look into that. First example. So I'm taking file 11 is my program name. In this, I'm writing all the files into zip folder. First of all, I have to import what actually zip file module. This is the built-in module. And after that, here file object is f equals to, okay, what class we have to use? ZIP capital FILE file. Then why it is not coming ZIP capital Z and capital F file here? Class is not coming because this zip file class is present in which module? Zip file module. If you want to consume anything from zip file module, you have to use module name dot class name, like that only. Look like module name is what? Small letter zip file dot class name is capital letter zip file. A file name, any file name you can take. Okay, so just I'm taking files dot zip extension, and which mode you have to use? Write mode, and which is required? Zip deflated. Even zip deflated also will not come here. Why? Because that is present in which module? Zip module, zip file module. So zip file is a module name dot zip deflated. I have to say that. But every time importing, accessing this uh, properties and classes using zip file module is not required. For example, every time we are using every time we are using zip file dot zip file dot zip deflated, like this. Okay, instead of this, we can do what? Simply from zip file import star. Now at this time we need not to use module name directly, you can use class name. Here also we need not to use zip file directly, you can use zip deflated, like this. This will work fine. Okay, this is the very simple syntax. So from zip file import star, in the sense from zip file small letter zip file module, we are importing by default this class and file names.zip folder, and W is a write mode and zip deflated is a constant. Once we create a zip files.zip, we can start writing the files into this zip folder. So how to write? Simple write method only can use. So any number of files, what files are there, you can upload. Not required to all files need to be uploaded in the zip folder. You can use any number of files like abcd.txt, abcd.txt. Next, f.write. Now coming to this, durga.txt, f.write. Next, here you can see any files like sample.txt, like sample.txt. So after uploading the file, then I can say that simply f.close only, closing the file. After, then I'm just printing the confirmation. So files.zip file created successfully. Okay, or else directly we can write zip file created successfully, like this. Zip file created successfully. So once I run this, now you can see zip file created successfully or not. Let me check this. So it is saying that zip file created successfully. Once zip file is created successfully, you can see this where it is there. The file name is files.zip in the left hand side panel. So you'll be able to see this zip file files.zip folder. This is the RAR folder icon here clearly available. Even more, if you want to see properly this is RAR folder or not, so go to the physical location of your project. Your project is located in which drive? No, D drive, Python project at 7 a.m. There we have to locate. Let's go to D drive. Now you can see D drive is there and Python project at 7 a.m. where it is there. This is your project name. Double click on it. And here you can check out RAR folder files dot winrar zip archive is there. Now you can see this is winrar Windows RAR folder zip archive it is. Let me copy this folder first. Okay. Now I am going to show you right now manually extraction I'm doing. Manual extraction means whether the files are loaded into this RAR folder or not. I want to do manual extraction. How to do extraction here? Just right click on the zip folder and you can extract here only. Just once we extract here, all the files whatever we have uploaded, ABC, ABCD, Durga, sample, all files are coming out. Yes, data also is there clearly. So here also data is, every file is having data, what data is there along with the data, and it's going to be stored into zip folder clearly. So zip folder is also created, abc.txt also here available. Okay, so this is abcd.txt, durga.txt like this. Now let's run this. Now coming to this. Okay, so this is the zip folder is created. I don't want to extract like this. Okay, I want extract through program only. That is unzip operation also we have. For unzip operation, now you can see f equals to zip file files name dot zip R mode we have to use because we are retrieving the files from zip folder. So that's what R mode is compulsory required. And zip stored is the what we can say constant that is. So zip stored indicates that is we are trying to extract the files from zip folder only. So now coming to the zip file is created successfully. Once we created zip file successfully, so we'll go for unzip operation purpose. One more file. So file 12 that is. Similarly here from zip file import star. Now coming to this here, zip stored represent unzip operation. Okay, so if you want to extract the files from zip folder, file name is file object is f, zip file is a class name, and in this class, so you have to use compulsory the built-in file what already we have file names dot zip. So files dot zip we can say that this file name compulsory, sir. If you don't find the file, if you don't give the file name properly, then obviously it will give what error, what error, file not found error exception you will get. So mention the proper file name from where you want to extract. Then you can see R mode I'm giving, read mode means all the data I want to read from this files.zip read mode, and comma zip underscore stored means what it is, zip stored is the thing like constant it is. So next what I'm trying to do, all whenever we whenever we upload the text files into zip folder, all the files are present in by default a name list method. There is a method called standard method, name list method. In that method, files are available by default, f.namelist method. From this name list method, I want to read and store into a variable called names. So by default, all files, whatever we uploaded like abc.txt, abcd.txt, all the files are present in name list method. In this name list method onwards, we are going to get the all the file names and stored into names only. Stored into names. Names is a list only, sir. Names is what actually list. So names equals to f dot name list. Then here for name equals to for name in names, for name in names. Then print file name file name. So I have to print the file name clearly. So what is that file name? We'll look into this file name. What is the name of the file here? You can see file name is what? Just name. So in this names list, multiple names are there. One by one, I want to retrieve. For loop variable is what? Name. In names, this is the collection of names. From this names, one by one, I am reading, and name I am displaying. File name is. Okay, this is what just retrieving the all multiple names of the files from zip folder, and I'm trying to print each and every file name separately. And if we want to display content of the file also, yes, I want to display content of the file, every file. So let's go for content of the file. What is the data is available also, that I want to display. Content of the file. Content of the file. Okay, then content of the file I want to display. To display content of the file, just F1 is my file object equals to open is a method, and that which file content is required. Current file name is what? Name is a loop variable. So every time here, every time here in this names list, one by one name will come and stored into name variable. That name I'm going to display. That name also I'm opening. In which mode I have to open? That is in read mode, R mode. F1 equals to open name comma R. R means read mode only. So after this here, print F1 dot read I'm taking. F1 dot read means completely current file name, file data I want to print. So after that, let me give some line gap file to file. That's empty function I'm using. So this is what extracting the files from zip folder. After extracting one by one file from zip folder, and I'm trying to print the name of the file separately and content of the file also separately. F1 equals to open name comma read mode. Let's run this. We are extracting clearly. How many files I have uploaded previously? abc.txt file name. The content also available. File name is abcd.txt. Content of the file is available. And file name durga.txt. Content of the file is available. File name sample.txt. Content of the file is available. Like this. Got my point? So this is the case here. So from zip file import star, f is a file object equals to zip file is a class, file star zip, r means read mode, zip stored, names equals to f dot name list method. So this is zip and unzip operations. Unzip means we can extract the files from zip folder. Zip means we can store the files into zip folder like this. Okay. Next, I'm going to use what we can say a CSV files concept. CSV means in the sense comma separated values. That means we can store our data into Excel sheet, and also at the same time we can read our data from Excel sheet and display into Python programming, Python PyCharm. So that is how to work with CSV data. CSV data means comma separated values. So comma separated values, how to work with comma separated values, we'll look into that. So first we'll go with the uh, first CSV writing and CSV reading. Here also in CSV file, writing and reading is possible. Writing means to store the data, and reading means to retrieve the data. That is CSV extension, all these things. Comma separated value, CSV stands for comma separated value. To work with CSV file in Python programming, Python provides a built-in module called CSV module. We have to import that module, import CSV like that. And in this CSV files also, we can write the data and we can read the data. Both we can do that. But only the thing is, while working with CSV files, to write the data, we use writer method. We use what method? Writer method. To read the data, we use what method? Reader method. So these two methods are different. And also we have to create here writer object as well as write reader object only. Suppose object means just we are assigning a method, writer method equals to one variable called w, and r equals to here reader method I'm assigning to one variable. So here w will act as an object. What object? Writer object. R will act as an object. What object? Reader object. So W is a writer object, R is a reader object, writer is a method, reader is a method. And generally normal text files we use what method? Write method and read method only here. But when it comes to CSV file, writer and reader we have to use it. So let's show that examples. So how to store the data into CSV file, how to store the data into CSV file, and how to retrieve the data from CSV file also. We'll look into that. So for that, I'm preparing simply file 13.py. So file 13 is my program name, and .py. Here I'm trying to show you first writing the data into CSV file. For that purpose, I'm importing CSV, comma separated values. It's a module name. And here I'm using with statement. Already you know about with keyword. With keyword is used to make all file operation statements grouped together. And the main advantage of with block is once we exit from the with block, then automatically file gets closed, and you need not to close the file explicitly by using f.close method once we are under in the with block only. So that's what I'm using with keyword here, and open with keyword open. Then after that emp.csv I'm taking emp.csv. This is my file name and extension also I'm giving CSV extension, and we are writing the data into CSV file. That's what I'm using W mode. And after that, so here I'm giving comma new line attribute. I'm giving new line attribute. So why new line attribute is required in this case? If don't give new line, what will happen? So generally, if you don't give new line attribute here, okay, so CSV file blank lines will be included between your data. Some blank lines means empty lines include in between your data. So to prevent that blank lines, so we use new line attribute is required. Okay, new line attribute is required. That is what actually new line attribute. Even you can try with without new line, with new line, what is the happening? You can try with from your side, no issues. But I'm including new line attribute here because I need to maintain the proper lines without making any blank lines. So with is a keyword, open is a method, emp.csv is my file name, W is a write mode because I need to store the data into CSV file, and new line is an attribute, as is a keyword, F is file object name. Under this with block, I have to show you how to write the data into CSV file. W is my writer object, and CSV is a module name. Dot writer is a method name where you want to write on F. F means file object. That's all. And here I'm trying to do W dot write row means employee details I want to write. So that's what I'm giving employee number. Sorry, employee number. Okay. Employee name, then employee salary, then employee address. Employee address. W is a writer object. Write row is a method. In the list format, employee number, employee name, employee sal, employee address. Then coming to the next line, I'm asking to the user how many number of how many number of employee details he wants to give, like n equals to int of input of enter number of employees data. So he can decide how many number of employees data he wants to enter. So I'm trying to do enter number of employees. Enter number of employees. Enter number of employees per I in range of n. For I in range of n. So that many number of employees I want to accept. So each time I'm going to store what actually employee number equals to input of enter employee number like this. Next employee name equals to input of enter employee name. These details all will store into CSV file, that is in Excel sheet only. Employee salary equals to input of enter employee salary. Next what employee address. Input of enter employee address like this. Next, what I'm trying to do, after entering one by one values, it will store into its variables. No, employee number will store here, employee name will store here, employee salary here, employee address will be here. Then we will write this one only. So we have to use write row. Write row is a method, and this write row, these fields I'm entering ENO, e-name, e-sal, e-address. This I want to write here. This one, this one, this one, this one. I'm going to write here. So w dot write row here. Okay. And after completion of with block, ending the with block, I have to say that total employee data returned to the CSV file successfully, or else just employee data returned to the CSV file successfully like this. Okay, return employee data returned to CSV file successfully. Okay, import CSV with block, open emp.csv w new line as f. W is a writer object. CSV.writer method. W.write row. Employee number, employee name, employee salary, employee address. N equals to int of input of enter number of employees. For I in n, for I in range of n, employee number, employee name, employee address, all we are taking input and we are trying to upload into these inputs into that W write row into emp.csv file. Let's hit that is. Now you can decide number of employee details. I'm deciding number of employees. I want to give 4. Employee number is 101. Employee name is Sai. Employee salary is 5,000. Employee address is HYD. Okay, employee number 102. Employee name is Shashi. Employee salary is 4,500. Employee address is HYD. Employee number 103. Name and salary and address. Employee number 105, 104, and name, employee salary, address like this. So 4 employee details are successfully returned to CSV file. Do you want to check where it is created emp.csv file? So look at this left hand side. There is a emp.csv file is there. This CSV stands for comma separated values. Whenever you double click on it, then all files are present in here, comma separated values through. But here actually the format will not be available in this pie meter. If you want to see the real format of this, what we can say, CSV file, then what we need to do, you have to go to physical location where your file is stored in D drive Python project at 7 a.m. In that we can find this Excel sheet emp.csv file. So let's flip to your D drive. So D drive this is, and next your project name is Python project at 7 a.m. Double click on it and you can see emp.csv file is there, Excel sheet clearly. So when I place mouse pointer over there, Microsoft Excel comma separated value file is there here, comma separated values file. When we double click on it, and we'll be able to find this completely data in Excel sheet. Now you can say employee number, employee name, employee salary, employee address. It's available in Excel sheet. Yes. So this data is writing into this CSV file, Excel file. But same data we can able to retrieve from that Excel file also. How we can retrieve that same data from Excel file? That is how to retrieve the data from employee.csv file. This is writing by using writer method. Okay, writer object and number of employees we are writing, and each employee details I'm including separately, and that employee details I'm going to write into this CSV file. Next, we'll go for reading same data from the Excel sheet, like reading CSV data. For that, I'm taking file 14.py, and in this, again, I have to go for import CSV, comma separated value extension. Module is required, importing module. Now, in this, for reading data from the CSV file, compulsory your file name correctly you have to mention. If you don't mention the file name, obviously, then you will get file not found error. So every time reading process, file name is compulsory required. If you don't mention the file name, then it will give error. So here I'm using file object f equals to open is a method. Open is a method, then emp.csv is my file name. Dot r means read mode only. So read mode. So read mode it is. So R is a read mode. emp.csv my existing file. Open is a method. F is a file object. So reader object have to create here. R equals to, it's a reader object. CSV dot what method you have to use? Reader method you have to use. And from where I have to read? F means file object. So now coming to this, if I try to print R here while reading the data from emp.csv file, reader object will read the data from file emp.csv, and we are going to store R value. We are printing R value. Once I print this R value, you can see this. So what is this? Reader object. It is CSV dot reader object at 0 into 0, 0, 0, 0. This is on object. It is reader objects are actually here. But in this object, there is an object is there, but this object is having lot of reference data. That data I want extracted. So how to extract it? I don't want to print R. So just observe here. I want to convert that R into list format, list of R. So that means we are going to print that all the records into list format. That list I want to store into data. So data equals to list of R in the sense what? R is a reader object. This object contains so much of records reference that all I'm converting into list. The list data will be stored into print data. So this is data format, list format only. So when I print this data, so all the records are coming from CSV file, and it will be converted into list, total list format we are displaying. Each and every record also will be considered as list. This is one list. This is second list. This is third list. How many records are there? Each record will be considered as one list, and all records again under other list also there. This is nested list is printing now. But my requirement is I want to extract this list from this outer list, and also each list I want to, each list of values I want to get this. How to get this each list of values? Okay, let's look into that each list of values how to get. So we are printing list now. So later I can remove this list also. Just I want to arrange the table format. How to do it? Simple. For loop I have to use. For line. Line means what? One line. Loop variable it is. In where I have to retrieve data. Data is what actually list format. So for line in data, if I try to print line means loop variable, this is one line. We're extracting this line from this data and printing this. And this is another line. We're extracting this and printing this. This is another line. We're extracting, printing separately. But even then, that also I don't need, because each and every line is again list format only. You can see this. This is complete list data. From this each and every line, I'm separating them. But this line's also in Word format. Obviously list format only. This line also is list format, clearly you can see. This is list, this is list, this is list, this is list. Everything is list format only here. But I don't need list format. From that list also I want to extract some data here. How to extract some data here? Okay, again I'm using here one more loop, nested loop. For word in line, for line in data, and after that in that line each and every word I want to extract for word in line in that line. Then finally I want to print what actually word only. If I try to print a word, look at here how we can extract that each and every words from the line and how it will print. Now you can see this line is extracting first. In that line we are extracting word in line. Word means ENO one word, E name one word, E salary, E address. These are all one words are available. But each and every word is going to be split into next line, next line, next line. But I want to arrange them into same line only. How I can arrange them into same line? Simple here. Word after end equal to some attribute I'm using. End equals to attribute means and each and every word will display in the same line only. But look at here, I'm giving some space also. And now coming to this same line, it is displaying or not? It's okay, same line, for perfect. ENO, E name, E salary, E address is one line. After that, next record I have to display into next line. To display that into next line, what I can do after completion of inner for loop. So empty function I'm using. After completion of inner for loop, empty function, when we use then immediately it will arrange them into new line only. So look at here, 101 Sai address like this. But now here I want to give some tab space in between word to word. So I'm giving tab space /t. T means tab. Then end equals to, there is no space. Now it will arrange very well structured in table format. So now it is arranging. This time this data is not required. I don't want to print. That is actually completely list format. From that list I am collecting the data and extracting and arranging properly with all. For line in data means each and every line separately. And in that line, I am printing word in line. Word means this one word. And every word to word, I'm giving one tab space. /t is the escape sequence of tab space. And after completion of inner loop means this word, this word, this word, this word. Printing next, I have to go to next line. That's what inner loop after print empty line I'm using. Immediately it will jump into next line. Again, next line words will be printed 101 Sai. This is all. So we are extracting CSV data and we are printing them into clearly which format? Table format again. So this is comma separated values through. We are reading the data from CSV and we are writing the data into CSV and we are making zip folder, unzip folder, all these things. Today what I want to discuss. So in tomorrow we'll discuss a new concept, that is working with binary files. So far we discussed completely text files, zip files, and CSV files. Then binary data, how to store, we'll discuss in next session, that is in tomorrow. That concept is called pickling and unpickling concept, we can say that. The concept name is pickle and unpickle. Pickle the objects, unpickle the objects. In Python, there is a separate concept for pickling binary data, unpickling binary data, that we will continue in tomorrow session clearly.